What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create an automation system that will notify you when a task is approaching due date, past due date, or after the task has been completed. Let's get started. On Monday.com, I have created a board called tasks. So on the first column, I'm having all the various tasks like bookkeeping, financial reporting, tax preparation and planning, consulting services, payroll services, and budgeting and focusing. And then here you can see the status of the tasks. The three main statuses that we have is working on it, completed, or stuck. So these are the status of the tasks. We also have the date when the task was added. We also have another column for the almost due date. And then here we have the column for the due date. To set up an automation on make.com that will notify you when the task is approaching due date, past date, or has been completed, we'll need to set up a webhook first. I'll search for Monday. Here we will watch for updates. So here I'll search for watch for board updates. To create a webhook, just click on create a webhook. Here you'll rename your webhook. So I'll call my webhook a client project reminder. And then here I'll click on add to add our API key. To find your API key on monday.com, just click on your profile, then administration, then connection, and click on API. You'll find your API token. All you have to do is just copy it, paste it right here, and then click on save. And for the board ID, choose tasks, since our board is called tasks. And for the update type, we want items update, and then click on save. Click on show address and then copy the link address to your clipboard and go back to Monday and then click on integrate. On templates, click on webhooks. And then we are going to choose when any column changes, send a webhook. Then click on add to board. Here we're going to click on use another connection. Then we will paste the link that we just copied from make and connect it. Click on add to board. To confirm that our webhook is working, we'll need to run this webhook. We can change our almost date to, let's say, date 12. Let's see if it runs successfully. You can see it ran successfully. Here we're getting our task that is bookkeeping and financial record keeping, because we just changed it right here. So our webhook is working perfectly. The next thing I'll do is I'll get the specific task. I'll search for get item. For the ID, I'm going to add our pulse ID. For the board, it's going to be tasks. And then click on OK. So when we copy our pulse ID and run this module by pasting our pulse ID right here, we'll get all the data of that particular task. So the status, it's working on it, the date, the almost due date, and the due date. Here we can set up a filter to ensure that our automation will run when our task is approaching due date. It will send a reminder on our Slack channel. Now, to set up a filter, just click here and then click on set up a filter. We're going to label our filter as almost due date or approaching due date. And then the condition is going to be if almost due date is equal to, and then here you can see the column title almost due date. We are going to select the date. So if almost due date is equals to this, the data that we get right here, we are going to use it to send a Slack message. So here we're going to search for Slack and then click on create a message. You can choose to enter our channel manually or select from a list. Our channel is going to be public, and here I'll select the specific channel. Our channel is going to be locks, and then here you can add a text reminder that you'd like for the assistant or the manager that the task or the project is approaching due date. Text could be in the lines of hi recipient. Now instead of the recipient name, you can add the actual recipient's name. Let's say the project manager is called Jan. You can say hi Jan, just a friendly reminder that the task or project, now here you can add the actual project. I'm going to add its name right here, is almost due. Please make sure to complete it before due date, and then here we can add the actual due date. So here we are going to find the due date and add the actual date. Click on OK. So now we have set up an automation that will remind the assistant or the manager that the task is approaching due date. What if today is the due date and the project hasn't been completed? We can set up a reminder to our project manager or assistant that the project is due today. We can get an item. The reason why we are getting an item is if the date gets to the due date, we are going to send a webhook, and this get item module will retrieve the data of that specific task and send the Slack message to our project manager. We're going to add our pulse ID. The board ID is going to be task. We can choose to clone our Slack message. To ensure that our Slack message is going out on the actual due date, we're going to set up a filter. To set up a filter, just click on set up a filter. We're going to say if due date equals to, and then here we're going to find the due date. This is the date, and click on OK. If the due date equals to the actual due date, we are going to get the actual task and we are going to send a reminder to our Slack channel to Jen, telling them that the due date of the task is today and they should have already completed it. The text could be on the lines of, "Hi Jen, this is a reminder that the task or the project," so the actual name of the project, "is due today. Please ensure it's completed by the end of the day. Done it." And then click on OK. We can also set up another automation that sends a Slack message reminder after the project is past due. We're still going to do the same thing that we've done here. You can choose to clone this module right here. You can also clone the Slack message and add it right here. Then for this one everything is perfect. The only thing we're going to do is set up a filter right here. We can label it as past due date and say if past due date equals to every single date that is above the actual due date is past due date. So what we are going to do over here, we are going to go on the date and time and then click on add days, and then back over here to our items, we are going to add our due date right here. So our due date right here, and here we're going to add 1 day. So if it's 1 day after the due date, we are going to send a Slack message reminder to one of our team. That will be the past due date of that particular task. So here on Slack, we're going to customize our Slack message. We can choose to delete all this. And our Slack message reminder could be in the lines of, "Hi Jan, this is a reminder that the project," and then here we can add the name of the project, "was due on," and then here we can add the due date, "and is now past the deadline. Please prioritize its completion as soon as possible." And then click on OK. What if the project has been completed on time? We are going to set up another automation that congratulates the project manager for finishing the task before the due date. We're going to set up a new scenario and rename our scenario to automations on Monday.com to notify the virtual assistant or the project manager when the task is completed. Here we're going to search for Monday. Our trigger is going to be watch boards column values. Here we'll need to create a webhook. We are going to rename our webhook, and then here we'll choose the right connection, which is accounting tasks. Our board ID is going to be tasks, and then in the type we are going to choose items column value update, and click on save. On Monday, click on integrate, and then webhooks. Since we want when the status changes to completed, we would like to send a Slack message reminder to our project manager. Here we are going to choose when status changes to something, send a webhook. Here we're going to add our link that we copied right here. We're going to add it over here and then click on connect. When the status changes to completed, we are going to send a webhook and then click on add to board. To test if our automation works successfully, we'll click on run and then we change one of our tasks to completed, and you'll see that our webhook is running successfully. Now that it's running successfully, we're going to create a Slack message. So search for Slack and then click on create a message. We're going to enter our channel from the list, and then our channel is going to be a public channel. Here we'll choose our specific channel, and then we'll write a text right here. Our Slack message could be on the lines of, "Hi Jen, I want to take a moment to congratulate you for successfully completing the task." So here we're going to add our task. "Your hard work and dedication are greatly appreciated. Thank you for your excellent efforts, Dennis." If we run our scenario and click on wait for new data and mark completed one of our tasks, you will see that it will run successfully. And on our Slack channel, you will see that we have our message right here. It says, "Hi Jen, I want to take a moment to congratulate you on successfully completing the financial reporting project. Your hard work and dedication are greatly appreciated. Thank you for your excellent efforts, Dennis." The last thing you'll do to your automation is just schedule them. To schedule our automations, you'll go right down below here where it says scheduling and turn it to on. If you have unprocessed data in your webhook, you can choose to process all data or delete all data. Click on delete. You can turn in your automation to on, and also on your completed task reminder automation, you can also choose to schedule it by turning it to on. You can also delete all data if you have all data that is unprocessed, then turn it to on. And now every single time your projects are almost due or have passed the due date, it will send you or your project manager a reminder message on your Slack channel. And then on this automation, if you have successfully completed the task, it will send you a congratulatory message on your Slack channel for completing the particular task, similar to this one right here. These are simple automations that you can set up right now in your business to notify you when projects are approaching due date, past due date, or when the tasks are completed. You can do that by setting up these simple automations on your CRM and make.com. If you have an automation in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. Otherwise, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.